Nigel Farage has put out a statement condemning yesterday's terrorist attack at the Jewish synagogue. He is unloading against British politicians, British police for taking things too lightly, not being afraid of the Islamic threat. And by the way, after this clip of him talking about the deadly attack, we have another video at the end of this, part 2. Watch what he says 2 years ago, warning Britain against the incoming influx of refugees from Syria, many of whom were terrorist suspects. Unbelievable. Nigel Farage basically predicting horrific repercussions to Britain being lax about their immigration policies, especially from Syria. Watch his clips here.
But here's the truth of it. They weren't demonstrating. They were actually celebrating. I can't even imagine we've ever seen such vile scenes on our streets, certainly not in my lifetime. In response to this, the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, says she's disappointed. Disappointed. That's the most the Home Secretary can say. Well, I hope all of you watching this video are outraged. Outraged and frankly frightened. This is broken Britain. This is evidence of societal breakdown. It is deeply worrying and very frightening. Will this Prime Minister do anything about it? No, in fact, he's emboldened these people by his recognition of Palestine 2 weeks ago. What is for certain is we're a country that allows peaceful protest, but we're not a country that allows the celebration of murder or slogans in our street that are deeply, deeply insightful. I must admit, saying this now to you today, I feel more worried about the state of broken Britain than I ever have before.
No, as far as I'm concerned, they left our state, they joined the Islamic State. I don't want a single one of them back. And this is the problem, that when you get boats crossing the English Channel, no doubt there are some people in those boats who are fleeing horror. I don't doubt that for a minute. But the problem is, and by the way, ISIS said this back in 2015. They said they would flood the continent of Europe with their operatives. Even if 1 in 1,000 that crosses into our port of Dover, if 1 in 1,000 is an ISIS activist intent on mayhem, intent on murder, intent on mass killing, then I'm sorry, we can't have anybody. Yes, we'll give food aid. Yes, we'll give medical aid. We'll help people around the world in genuine distress. We cannot open our borders and risk terrorism. And frankly, the first duty of government is to protect the nation and protect its people. We must not take that risk.
No, and I mean, you've already got a migrant crisis over there, and this is the last thing that you need. And what about the other way around, in light of the Syrians returning back home now? How many who sought asylum in Britain do you think will actually go back, or you think, no, they're done, they'll stay?
Well, we have a backlog of asylum claims from Syrians, including one who was publicly threatened to kill me repeatedly, which is very charming. He's currently in police custody. If the reason for claiming asylum was that Assad was in power, well, then surely it's time for them all to go home. And that is why lots of European countries yesterday, including us reluctantly in the end, have said, right, we're not processing any more of the existing claims, not taking any more new ones. Austria are even talking about returning people to Syria. Now, you know, it's a complex situation. We don't know whether what comes will be even worse than Assad. But let's have some degree of optimism that people can go back. 14 million people in all have been displaced from Syria over the last decade. And for that country to prosper, it needs them to go back home.
The question we have to ask ourselves is, what is Britain waiting for? Keir Starmer, you're worried about a Palestinian state when over a year ago you had an influx of thousands of Syrian refugees, migrants, you don't know who they were, terrorist backgrounds? Unbelievable. Nigel Farage warned you, and now it takes a tragedy at a synagogue for you to wake up? Unbelievable. Keir Starmer has not done his job. He should resign. Disgraceful. We need Nigel Farage and Tommy Robinson.